Hello, everyone. Happy New Year. Hope you're doing well, staying safe. Um, I wanted to start a new series this year, kind of focusing on some of the music that inspires me, and specifically some of these subgenres that are more niche, but have become very near and dear to my heart over the years. A lot of these particular genres are either forgotten genres, or they don't really exist. There isn't really like anyone carrying the genre, and if they are, it's not very many people. But a lot of these genres that I will be talking about in this series all kind of span within the late 2000s going into the early 2010s. So probably like 2005 to like 2015-ish, somewhere around there. And there was a lot of really fascinating music being made at the time that was blurring a lot of lines. I think a big reason why was because of the rise of SoundCloud. And from what I recall, SoundCloud came around like 2011, 2010, 2011, somewhere around there, and was being used. And so it was really easy to discover a lot of very unique music at the time. There still is a lot of incredible music that you can discover on SoundCloud, but I feel like there was just a lot of innovation during that period of time. And so there's one genre that I'm going to kick the series off with, which is called Cyber-Grime. And you may have heard of UK grime before, and that is a much broader genre. There's a lot of different styles of grime within the genre sphere of grime, and I'll cover some of them, not all. But for those who are unfamiliar with grime, it eventually evolved into UK drill. There's also like New York drill. And I would say that in terms of like the style, that feels the most closest to it in terms of beats, but is still also so completely separate from all that as well. But yeah, definitely check out grime in general. You can find grime playlists quite easy, and I may go and, like I said, make a bigger video on that stuff. But for now, we're going to focus on Cyber-Grime. And so if you're asking what is Cyber-Grime, well, I'll go to here. So this is the only article that I can find on the topic that is online. And funny enough, it's a archived article. It doesn't exist on the actual internet anymore. But it's from Dummy Mag, which I believe Dummy Mag is not around anymore. And so this article here is the 11 best cyber-grime tracks according to Partisan. And so cyber-grime can be defined as metallic, abrasive, violent, complex, and maximal. Cyber, I believe it's supposed to say cyber-grime, is inflicted with cybernetic themes and industrial textures, mixing together with sounds you would usually hear in techno, whilst also weaving in the complex beat programming of club and bass genres. It's a sound that has built a diverse range of followers, with Bjork most notably dropping W3C's heavy-hitting Prometheus into her DJ sets. And so I would characterize it additionally as this very metallic, very industrial sound. It makes me think of like sounds in a warehouse factory, like drills, the sound of a forklift, things like that is what I associate it with, but it also there can exist outside of that as well. So the tracks here thankfully have been put into a playlist. You can find it right here on YouTube. These are all the tracks. I think there's like maybe one that's missing from it, or actually it looks like there's two because he said 11. So, but you can still get an idea of the type of sounds. So each of these are quite vastly different in terms of style, but they all fit into the Cyber-Grime aesthetic sound-wise. And so you'll see here SD Leica, which isn't really Cyber-Grime, especially the track that they went and shared. I would say that they're more in the deconstructed club realm, which Cyber-Grime does, funnily enough, exist in that sphere as well. And so I think that's why they shared it, because the sound palette still exists in there, but there is some Cyber-Grime that can fall into the deconstructed club realm as well. So I'll play an example of one of the more quote-unquote popular Cyber-Grime tracks. This is a track that Mum Dance did with Novelist. It came out on XL Recordings. I believe there's another track that came out with it. It is, oh yeah, Take Time. That's another one, and it also feels very Cyber-Grime-esque, but I'll go ahead and play this so you get an idea.
One sec, let me chat about flows. One sec, let me chat about road. One sec, let me chat about girls. One sec, let me chat about dough. Right. One sec, let me chat about flows. Yeah. One sec, let me chat about road.
Yeah, so typically it doesn't have a vocalist on top, but Novelist is quite experimental when it comes to rapping over beats. And so even Take Time is quite a weird beat, so I'll play a little bit of that one too.
I take time and think. Don't roll suits, but I might have a drink. But you know that I still have sense. Spitting bars on a mum done set. Walk one for them man there. Spending bare cash on ink. They could have Gucci belts, but go home to an empty fridge. I take time and think. Rude boy, which think this is? Man wanna be flash on gas when they got a whole bag of bills on a madness. That's why I just do my thing. And I don't watch face and ting. And I stay in my lane and ting. Cause you done know, say I got a brain and ting. Be a waste man, that's long. Bad work on my head.
So yeah, as you can hear, there's not really like traditional snares or claps. There is a kick or like a bass that will happen, but it's using these sounds that are just very, not necessarily distorted, but there's like a lot of reverb, and it has a very raw texture to it. It's very noisy, very just like very cold, very atonal sound. There's not a lot of like melodic content within a lot of these sounds. And so I just thought that that was really fascinating when I first discovered it. And a lot of that music within these different genres that I'll talk about all kind of don't really fall in the lines of traditional melodic like music at all. And so how I discovered this whole world of this kind of music started all the way back when I first discovered Cashmere Cat's Momo PS1 mix. And so there were some tracks in here that I just remember feeling like so eerie, and it wasn't like a bad eerie, it just had this very eerie, like angelic feeling. Like, I don't know if eerie and angelic can be used in the same sentence, but they just felt so hypnotic and just so unlike anything I'd ever heard. It felt otherworldly, and so I was just like fascinated by these tracks. One in here was his edit of Kid Antoine. The other one is Drippin' Memory Foam. Even Jam City, some of their earlier stuff was really interesting. Niana is another one. So yeah, there's just a lot of really interesting music that he was playing that I was starting to discover at the time. Like, I had discovered Darko because I found Missigno. I had I was more open to some of this weird experimental like club stuff because of Jersey Club. You know, I just found DJ Slink because of Trippy Turtle putting on like Jersey Club and sharing that, and he was blowing up at the time on SoundCloud. Nodis was another one. DJ Trey was another one. K Driz. There was a lot of this like Jersey Club stuff that, you know, is probably one of the biggest genres even to this day. It's had a lot of like big moments over the last like decade or so. And so I was just trying to find more of that stuff. And then he's played some like ballet funk too, but I was just really interested in this what I called like club music, and a lot of the specific type of sound came from UK music. And so it was like either fusing like UK garage or fusing like at the time, you know, like 2008 2009, like that era of dubstep, you know, where it like went from Burial and Mala and stuff like that, and then it went into like Koki and yeah, those guys. And so like it was just really interesting just hearing all these different genres starting to pop up that, you know, hadn't existed prior, because everyone was downloading, either buying the software, or most people are probably pirating it. I know I was. And so they're pirating the software or buying it, and then they were just discovering like all these sounds in these DAWs. And I know specifically with a lot of the earlier stuff in the UK, they were using Logic mainly. Like I know a lot of like the UK dubstep and the drum and bass guys and Grime, UKG, all that stuff. It was all kind of made in Logic. I don't think too many people were making it inside of like FL Studio or Ableton at the time. I feel like those particular programs were being used for other styles, or maybe they were more like American. I don't know like what the actual reasoning was, but I just noticed in a lot of these earlier tutorial videos that I would watch, or just like production videos, that they were all inside of Logic. And even like trying to find like specific sound remakes of some of these sounds that I was looking for, it was inside of Logic. So anyways, yeah, getting back to this, there's a couple like really cool tracks. I'll try and find this drippin'. Yeah, I think this is the drippin' track. So this one is a little bit more melodic, but it just has this very like ghosty feel to it because of like the melodies. And I think a lot of that comes from Angel mixes from Grime as well. And again, that's for another video. So now he's mixing into Kid Antoine, his edit of Kid Antoine, and so. So yeah, really minimal. It's just like this kick. There is this melody playing over it, but the melody is from Drippin' Memory Foam. So I don't remember how I got the Cashmere Cat edit. You can't find it anywhere. I think someone sent it to me like years ago. I believe I have it in here. If not, it might be on my other computer. I don't know why it's looking in there. Oh, there we go. Okay, it's probably on my actual hard drive, like in record box, and I won't deal with that right now. But basically, or you know what? I think I have it on one